Well, forecasters had predicted a month's rain in just a day, and it doesn't look like they were wrong. In fact, it's still coming down now. But after the southwest bore the brunt of the foul weather over the weekend, today the northeast of England has been in the eye of the storm. Both the River Ouse in York and the River Skerne in Darlington have burst their banks, flooding roads and houses. There are long delays and closures on the main rail routes and roads, including the A19. The Friarage Hospital here in Northallerton closed 3 operating theatres and cancelled all surgery after being flooded. And it's only going to get worse, I'm afraid. More than 30 millimetres of rain is expected in parts of North Yorkshire, Teesside and County Durham overnight. And as Jane Dodge reports from here in Northallerton now, some residents say they haven't been getting the help that they need.
Watching and waiting, the water levels outside Vicky Hawes' house in Northallerton rose 2.5 inches in just 2 hours today, and she feels she has been left to fend for herself.
Everything we've had to do ourselves, the sandbags and everything, you know what I mean, there was nobody's come round, and obviously I'm in no fit state to be traipsing sandbags around on my own, you know what I mean, I'm 5 months pregnant and stuff, so like that way we've not had a lot of help that way.
This is what's been causing the problem. The small stream that runs through the town and under the hospital has become a torrent. Blocked drains have caused it to burst its banks. Fire crews have been at the scene since early this morning, pumping water away from the hospital. This surge of brown water has already passed under the hospital buildings once. It's now flowing downstream to the culvert behind me, where it goes under another part of the hospital. It's that culvert which became blocked, leading to a rise in the water levels and the subsequent flooding. You've had to bring in a second pump, haven't you?
Yes, we have. The volumes of water are absolutely enormous, and to ensure that we're not moving the water just to another point, because that goes to the high street from here in Northallerton, we're making sure that we can pump water away from this site completely.
Flooding has led to the closure of 3 operating theatres at Friarage Hospital and the cancellation of 10 operations. Water has been pumped a mile away to avoid flooding of nearby houses, but it's been a close-run thing for some. How deep is it now?
The worst parts, I would say, are good 7 to 8 inches at the worst. It's slowly going into the back door, so as you can see from all the sandbags, just trying to prevent any water damage inside the house.
Stephen has had help from his father today.
Yeah, as long as we can divert the water that way, I think we'll be fine.
He's a local councillor who's fuming at the news that households here are only entitled to 10 sandbags each.
If we'd have only had 10 bags, this property would have now been underwater, which, for the sake of pennies, as far as sand is concerned, and for a taxpayer, it just seems ludicrous to me.
In response, the local council says it has to have a fair way to distribute sandbags, and more are available for those most in need. According to the Environment Agency, it's been driving conditions that have been causing most disruption today.
The big problem, I think, across Yorkshire at the moment is the disruption to the road network. The A1 is affected and the A19 is being closed. Generally, the big rivers are working okay. Now, flood defences are protecting over 11,000 homes right now. We've just got some isolated problems like here at Northallerton.
But tell that to this woman in Durham. Her street is flooded. The water, anything but clean.
Normally there's quite a lot of sewage, sanitary litter, nappy liners. I've had needles, all sorts, faeces, all human waste. It's pretty disgusting.
The Environment Agency say they've had reports of 40 homes flooded in the region, and more heavy rain is expected tonight.